Welcome to the Mayor's Forum. My name is Matt Hayden. I'm the Deputy Administrator at Egg Harbor Township. I'm filling in today for the Mayor. My guest on the Mayor's Forum today is Frank Britt from Pack 94, the Egg Harbor Township's Cub Scouts. Frank is here today to talk about the Cub Scouts and what they offer to the youth in the township. Frank, welcome to the Mayor's Forum. Can you tell the audience what the Cub Scouts are all about, Frank?
Sure. The Cub Scouts is a younger branch of the Boy Scouts of America, which recently has now known as the Scouts BSA. We have now integrated girls into our program, which has created a change in our structure and our name. Cub Scouts is available for any child, grade levels kindergarten through 5th grade.
That's great. And the girls just were integrated to the Cub Scouts. And that's obviously a recent change, right?
That is a recent change. Girls were integrated into the Cub Scouts in January of 2018. And Egg Harbor Township will be processing that integration in September of 2018 for our new recruitment.
Okay, great. And you think there's going to be a
We
big
have a waiting
uptick?
list.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, Frank, how were the Cub Scouts started here in the township?
Cub Scouts were started in the township 50 years ago. We were chartered by the Egg Harbor Township Police Department. With different changes in the political environment, not locally, but nationally, they made a rule that Cub Scouts could no longer be governed by any political or township-run department. So unfortunately, last year we had to switch from the Egg Harbor Township Police Department, but they easily took us over in the mainland PBA, so we were able to keep our same charter rep.
Oh, that's great. And how long have you been involved with
I've been involved for 3 years.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So who can participate in the Cub Scouts, Frank?
Any child, not just boys, grade levels from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Okay. That's great. And do you see a big turn? You obviously said you have a waiting list, but you have a good turnout, obviously, with your pack.
Yeah, we are a very affluent pack. We range between 75 to 100 scouts. The reason why there's such a big difference is halfway through the year, we transition our older boys over to the Boy Scout program.
Okay, great. So you have a nice transition between the two. So that's great for the kids. So what is a Cub Scout pack? Can you tell me what a Cub Scout pack and den are?
Sure. A Cub Scout pack is the entire group. It is made up of all the scouts. So we are Pack 94. A den is a smaller group of the pack that is made up of different grade levels of children and goes no more than 10 but no little than 3 scouts in each group.
Okay, great. And you typically fill all those up and get good turnout for the packs and dens?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So can you tell me a little bit about what it means to be a Cub Scout?
I mean, I can tell you what I think it means to be a Cub Scout, but nationally, being a Cub Scout means being a member of a worldwide youth movement. I think that it gives kids the ability to learn how to be good citizens and buys into the beliefs and manners and how to, treat other people appropriately and things like that.
When you say regional, here in the township, do you see that convey over to the township? Do you see anything township specific that relates to that? So like that ties into that
Well, every year we do the Egg Harbor Township Memorial Day Parade, which teaches the kids the citizenship and patriotism towards our country, and that's something locally that we do just right here in Egg Harbor Township.
That's great. So how often do the packs and dens meet here in the township? So
the packs meet monthly. We meet at Miller School.
Okay.
On a specific Wednesday of the month. It's usually either the 1st or the 2nd, depending on what's going on at Miller School.
What's going on, right?
Yep. And then dens meet weekly. They don't necessarily have a specific location. A lot of it has to do with the activities that the youth are working on at the time. So one day they could be at a school cafeteria, and another day they could be out at the nature reserve.
Okay, great. So it's a good mix for the kids as they go through the program.
Absolutely.
That's great. So how are the dens ranked? You mentioned that.
Yeah, so we have 7 different rank levels. When a scout joins, the first thing that they earn is their Bobcat rank. The Bobcat Rank is understanding the fundamentals of scouting. They have to understand the sign and the handshake and the oath and the laws. And once they understand that, they're able to receive their Bobcat Award.
Okay.
Then the other rank levels all go in a process of your grade. So
Okay.
if you are in kindergarten, you would be a Lion Scout and you're working towards earning your Lion rank badge, and then so forth. First is Tigers, second is Wolves, third is Bears, fourth is Webelos, and then fifth for half of the year is Arrow of Light. And once they receive that, they transition over to a troop.
Okay. And how long does that process typically take as you go through those rankings?
Through the ranks, we start in September and everything is wrapped up and finalized by June.
Okay.
You are able to work through the summer on different achievements or things like that that you want to work on your own. But locally in Egg Harbor Township, we push between September and June.
Okay. So it's basically a yearly program that they go through and they work the year.
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
How much does it cost to be a member of the Cub Scouts?
Well, it's interesting how you said that it's a yearly program because our fee is $100, but that $100 covers you for the entire year. So it's not like you know, with different activities in the area, if you play fall ball, it's one price, and if you play spring baseball, it's another price, and then you have basketball in the middle. So it's actually the best bang for your buck is to join Cub Scouts.
To join.
Yeah.
And how much is the cost? So is there there's a set cost for that?
There is a set cost of $100,
Okay.
and that is your main dues.
That's the dues
pays
for the
over
year.
the 12-month period.
Okay.
Yep.
So can you tell us about the uniforms and the
Sure.
badges and what they signify?
Yep, I actually brought a uniform here with me.
Oh, that's great.
So you could take a look at it. All of the uniforms standards are that they have to have the American flag and the DEN insignia. They also have to have our council patch, which we're the members of the Jersey Shore Council, and then
Okay.
your unit information, which is 94, which is Egg Harbor Township. Located up here in the corner, we have the purple patch with the fleur-de-lis inside of it, and this is the one patch that everybody around the world wears. This stands for the World Scouting Brotherhood. And then over here, this purple knot is for religious patches that can be earned on your own.
Okay.
And then these are some of the rank badges I was talking about. So here's the Bobcat, the Tiger, and the Wolf, all worn on a blue shirt. The blue shirt is worn for rank levels of Lion through Bear.
Okay.
And then after they transition over to Webelo, they go to the khaki like I'm wearing to transition them for Boy Scouts.
With this here, Frank, the Bobcat, would that be the first? So this is the
Yes.
first year, and then you would go to transition to?
No, this is the first award that you get. This is
Okay.
the only award that is given to every rank level no matter when you join. So
Okay.
if you were in 5th grade and you're coming in to join and you join for the kids that are working on their AOL rank,
Okay.
you have to receive your Bobcat before you can move forward
Okay.
because that is the fundamentals of everything with scouting.
And then where would you go from there? Can you go to any other of the
You
the
cannot
levels?
go backwards.
Okay.
So if you start in 1st grade, you will never earn your Lion.
Okay.
If you start in 2nd grade, you'll never earn your Lion or your Tiger.
Okay.
Okay, because everything in scouting is set up to be age appropriate for the level that we're working on. So if you have somebody who's in 4th grade that joins and wants to earn their Lion or their Tiger, these 4th graders that want to be outside doing activities are really going to be inside working in a coloring book.
In a coloring book. Okay.
Right.
And this here, the patch. Can you show that patch again to the audience?
This purple one?
This Jersey
Oh,
Shore,
okay.
and explain a little bit more about
Sure.
what that is.
This is our council patch, which is for the Jersey Shore Council.
Okay.
Our Jersey Shore Council is made up of Egg Harbor Township is, well, Ocean City is actually the furthest south, and we go north up through Toms River.
Oh, all right.
And that is our council.
Okay.
We are in what is called the Sea Pines District, which is made up of our area here that goes from Hamilton to Atlantic City and from Ocean City to about Galloway.
And do those packs from all those different municipalities, do they coordinate and meet together as a part of the Jersey Shore Council?
Yes, we
Okay.
do. Mm-hmm.
How often does that occur?
That happens once a month. It's called a district committee meeting.
Okay.
And that's where we get together and work on upcoming events, council events, big giant camping trips that we're going to be taking part in, any jamborees that are happening, or just collaboration between different leaders.
Okay. All right. That's great. So for the parents that are watching, Frank, what if they want to help with their child's pack? How can they go about helping?
Any parent can help. We're always looking for leaders. A parent just simply has to approach the Scout Master or the Cub Master or the Assistant Cub Master, ask us about leadership opportunities. We'll provide them with an application that they fill out, and it will go through our charter organization for approval. Once that's done, there's training specific for the role that they want to take on.
Okay.
But other than that, they are a leader with us.
So there's multiple roles that they can really take on. It sounds like
Absolutely.
up to leader all the way down to basically volunteer.
Yeah,
that they
well,
can
we're
help
all
out.
volunteer or
Right.
voluntold.
Right. That's great. So can someone start their own den if
Not
they wanted
really.
to?
No, dens are based off of our registration numbers and how many we have per age group.
Okay.
So some age groups will have one den, some age groups will have two, and some age groups will have three. It all depends on our attendance and our registration numbers for that age level.
So if a child were to register, they're going to be put into one of those.
They will be put into an existing den.
Existing den, okay.
After we reach a number that's unmanageable is when we will start another den.
Okay. So what does it take to become a Cub Master? You mentioned a little bit about
Right.
volunteers. What does it take to become a Cub Master and Assistant Cub Master?
Sure. So besides filling out the application and going through what I discussed earlier, there are several online and physical trainings that need to take place in order to become that I guess, rank as an adult
Right.
leader. Dawn Donchie, who is our Cub Master, who couldn't be here because she's actually a teacher for Egg Harbor Township, she's been the Cub Master for over 11 years, and I've been here for 3 years. The two of us collectively have taken worldwide of training, and we both are what is called Wood Badge certified, which is the highest of adult training you can take in order to bring back to your organization. and
Okay,
unit.
great. So you've gone through that training. Is there a difference between the Assistant and Cub Master? Do you have, so the different levels is basically you take on more training as a Cub?
In training wise,
Right.
no, the training is the same training. I
Okay.
just get to pass the buck off to her.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're in the good
yeah,
ranking.
yeah.
Okay. So
I don't have to take on as much heat.
the heat. Okay. So what type of ongoing support do you have as a Cub Master or Assistant Cub Master once
Right.
you get to that level?
So like I was talking earlier about our council and our district is we do the monthly district meetings. If anybody's interested in attending, those are actually held at Cousin Mario's on the second Thursday of the month.
Okay.
Out in Mays Landing. It is a group of leaders from all of the different units in our area that
Okay.
get together and we collaborate. Sometimes we have issues with, getting kids to advance, and we get other ideas from different people of how to help out. It also helps out with our camping trips and our different projects, such as Autumn Adventure or Weeblo's Woods or Hook Arrow Shell, and these are all different types of district events that we have to help the kids advance in their rank levels and provide them with opportunities to do their activities.
Frank, with all that the Cub Scouts offer, can you tell us what types of activities Cub Scouts can plan on doing once they join?
Sure. On a generic side, the Cub Scout activities consist of games and service projects, learning life skills, different camping trips. But on a broader form of it, we have the Pinewood Derby, which is one of our biggest events every year, where the boys get to go home and make their own wooden car
Right.
and race it down a track.
Right.
There is some discussion over it, whether it's actually for the boys or for the parents.
For the parents.
But we try to make it a boys event. In Egg Harbor Township, because of the competition between parents, we've actually opened up, besides them racing on their rank level, we also now have a parent's turn. So instead of the parents making their kid's car, we ask the parents to make their own.
Oh, wow.
And they get to race it later. But another great feature with the Pinewood Derby is Roads and Roads Woodworking over in off of Ocean Heights. They provide the scouts an opportunity to come in and cut their cars and sand them and shape them in their areas on a Saturday morning, and he offers that across district-wide for scouts.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah, it
definitely
really
a
is
great resource.
Great opportunity. Some of the other things that we have going on in the fall, so coming up is our Autumn Adventure, which takes place over at Egg Harbor City Lake. It's a district-wide event where we we work on all our different activities. Sometimes there's a theme, sometimes it's STEM related. So we'll bring out people that shoot off bottle rockets or talk about the nature and what's going on in the area. A lot of times Atlantic Care will come out and teach CPR and first aid training and things like that. It's a really great event. So that's the one that will be coming up soon. But our biggest annual camping trip is called Hook, Arrow, Shell, and that happens in May, where we actually take the boys out and focus on fishing and archery and BB guns and those types of outdoor activities. So we try to get something in the fall and something in the spring to make sure that all the boys are able to cover their camping requirements for their rank level.
That's great. And where do you typically go camping at? Do you have a
Well,
set place, or do you try to utilize multiple
We have a
locations?
couple areas. We try to stay within our district down here. So we do a lot at Egg Harbor City Lake. We do, which is also where our summer day camp is held. We do a lot over in Estelle Manor. We utilize the nature reserve over here quite a bit. They're doing a lot of new development over there, from what we've been told, with different activities for the Boy Scouts to be able to utilize, or Cub Scouts, not just the nature piece of it. They're putting in some different activity areas and things like that. But for the Hook, Arrow, Shell campaign, that takes place at our Scout reservation in Barnegat.
In Barnegat, okay.
Yeah.
And that's really a good resource for the kids that are involved in the program, because right over at the nature reserve, anything you can link to that, they're not only learning something, but they're also bringing it back to the, to the
absolutely.
community. So
Absolutely.
That's a great opportunity. Well, that's a number of activities, Frank.
Right.
So are there any awards or major projects that the Cub Scouts can complete as a part of the pack?
Sure. So earlier I explained the rank badges that they have and,
Right.
and that they work towards with earning their belt loops or their activity pins in order to receive their rank. But besides that, there's other things that they can work on themselves as individuals or with other groups of people. We have religious awards that will go off of any religion that you have. We have an award for it for you to do better with your duty to God, of whatever God that is that you believe in. Currently, we did a non-denominational award ceremony, and we also did a Catholic award ceremony.
Okay.
That's who took part within our pack. But they offer a wide variety of any type of religion that you would be interested in getting an award for. They offer. They also offer conservation service projects where the boys learn about conserving energy, wildlife, nature, how different things that we do affect what's going on globally in the world. And then the newest program that's a big initiative for the Scouts is the STEM Nova Award, where the kids really get an opportunity to dive into the sciences and technology of different activities that we do within Scouting and within the world. We have, because of our proximity to Stockton, we have a wonderful science program over there that really has taken the lead in the STEM Nova program for us.
Right.
And has come out to really train the leaders and to provide opportunities of training to the Scouts so that they can all receive these awards.
That's great. When you say STEM, just for our audience,
Right.
when you refer to STEM, what are those objectives of STEM?
It's the science and technology portion of education, and we want to take that and bring it into the Scouting program so that the kids we can advance with the times. We just can't talk to kids about using their knife and whittling a block of wood
Right.
when the kids really want to grab a telescope and go look at the stars. Or a kid wants to sit there and use a BB gun, but they don't really know how it works. So then you take that out and you show them how the physics of it works and how the whole process of what they're doing, and that is all getting them into the sciences of their program.
And really with the Cub Scouts, it's not, so you're explaining all the learning opportunities, but really you're also taking that and you're critiquing it to the Cub Scouts that you have. So as you
Absolutely.
mentioned with the religions, it's not just that it could be a Catholic or a non-denominational.
Right.
It could be any type of religion, and you would
Anything.
incorporate that into the program.
Anything, yes. And they all have a specific award that is given to them through their faith. So, for instance, recently my son and I went to Camden for the bishop to give out the Catholic awards. They held a big ceremony out there for that. Then we came back, and at St. Catherine Drexel, Father John then went in and presented them to them locally. So that's how it's done for my church. We have another scout who is of the Jewish faith, and they did something similar within his synagogue.
That's great. So it's really open to anybody.
It is.
Which is great. So with all the activities and projects, what are some of the outcomes of being a Cub Scout?
Well, you know, our goal for scouting is for the kids, one, to just come and have a good time. We want them to enjoy it, and we want them to stick around, and we want them to want to come back to their meetings and their events and to take part. But the main goal is to get, with the Cub Scout program, is to transition them into a troop, because that's really where they're going to get the fundamentals to move through life. And of course, you know, we want to get them to Eagle Scout and, you know,
And take them all the way through the
and take them
program.
all the way through the program. Yep.
And really, it's not only that, but it's a family experience. So, like you mentioned, you went with your son up to Camden to
Right.
to the diocese. When you do that, it's a family experience. So it's I'm learning this with my
Absolutely.
father, mother, whoever, whatever parent or relationship that they have. They have that individual that they're going through the program with.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a society now where a lot of things take place in front of a TV or with video games or in your homes, and it's rush, 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 and I have to get to baseball, and I have to get to basketball, and I have to get to these different things. And I feel like Cub Scouts gives people the opportunity to just take a breath. You can take a breath and enjoy the time that you're spending with your child or with your friend or with your companion, and work on something as a family or as a group that gives you a minute to turn the TV off, or to, you know, go for a walk, or to go to a nature reserve, and to do something that's just not so hectic and upbeat.
Part of the daily grind.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's great. So, are there any other costs to participate in Scouts? I know we mentioned the membership fees and the
Right.
But is there anything other costs that someone should anticipate?
So summer camp is a big cost for a lot of the kids that take place in there. That's not something that is fully covered under your annual dues. A portion of that does go to cover your staff and the people that are there, but there are other costs that are incurred. So summer camp is the biggest of those areas, and those are on different levels depending on your rank level. If your child is, you know, kindergarten through third or through second grade, they're attending, you know, our day camp, which is a lot cheaper and a lot, you know, easier to for the parents to cope with. As the boys get older into their, you know, third, fourth, and fifth grades, they're going away to summer camp, and they're spending days out away and overnight, and that cost is a little higher.
Okay.
Some of the other areas are when we do our weekend camping trips or things like that, but that's a very minimal cost. We're going away right now, and it was $11.
Okay.
You know, for a camping trip, which keeps it very minimal. Some of the other activities that we like to take the kids to are professional baseball games, or visits to museums and zoos, where they give us the opportunity to like sleep in or stay overnight with the animals, and those tend to be a little pricier, but not everybody has to do them. It's an a la carte situation. So if you feel like you want to go to the baseball game and pay that, you can. If you feel like you want to go to summer camp and nothing else, you can.
That's great. So it doesn't eliminate anybody from participating, but
No.
if you do want to go, you can, and if not, you can wait till the next meeting or go to the next event, whatever
Absolutely.
you choose to do. That's great. How about as far as like uniforms and anything like that? Is that an additional cost that the
Uniforms are a major cost. Not that they are expensive, but kids grow.
Right.
So for my
Right.
son, you know, was a small petite kid. So I went
Right.
in and I got him like a medium. You know, so it was way too big on him when he was a tiger,
Right.
and now it's way too small on him when he's a bear.
When he's a bear.
So we're holding out for the khaki shirt next year because I don't want to have to buy that many. So the uniform piece is a bit of an expense, and your startup patches are included in that.
Okay.
The boys have to purchase their shirt, their neckerchief, their belt, and their neckerchief slide. Other than that, they wear jeans and sneakers and stuff like that. And as you grow in rank, or the uniform does expand, but most of the time that's in Boy Scouts when the boys are pretty well grown and
Grown,
can
right, you
maintain,
maintain
the size that they're with.
So you mentioned some of the trips. Do the Cub Scouts run any programs or trips? So you do run trips for the members and any other programs. Could you get a
Yeah.
little more, tell us a little more about
Sure.
that?
Sure. Recently, this year, our big trip was that we went to Washington, D.C. They have a wonderful establishment there called the Missionary Center, which is, I guess, a hostel, you would call it.
Okay.
But it was a great area with bunk beds and kitchen facilities and things like that for us to be able to stay for a very limited cost and to keep the boys overnight in D.C. The boys had the opportunity to go visit the Capitol building and several monuments and memorials, which works on different ranks for them, or different activity ranks. The boys need to understand citizenship and patriotism and reverence and duty to God. So by going and visit Arlington Cemetery and seeing the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, they are learning all of these skills and just scratching them off as they go along. So that was our big trip this year. In the past, we've done a trip to Philadelphia. We've also done overnights at the Franklin Institute. So we always have some really big trips, at least one a year, that we try to get the boys to.
And with those trips, it's also a learning opportunity that coincides with the badges that that the Cub Scouts are going after.
Absolutely. Last summer, we got to go down to the Cape May Coast Guard Training Center, which was just fabulous. The boys got to camp right there in the barracks, got to go in and dine with the recruits, and got to get on the ships and see everything that was going on. It was a really neat opportunity for all of them.
That's great. It's also experiences for the Cub Scouts that they can take as they grow.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. So how do the Cub Scouts raise funds for the various activities that you mentioned?
Well, if any of you go to Wawa within the fall, you will see them out there with their popcorn, and they do a pretty good job of just hawking their popcorn. It's popcorn, popcorn, popcorn. That is our main fall fundraiser. That gives them the opportunity, depending on how much they sell, in our pack for this year and for this current recruitment year. There's a percentage of their what they sell goes back to their annual dues. So if you sell a good amount of popcorn, you could end up having your dues completely paid for the year, and then there's nothing out of pocket for the parents or the youth.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. That's something you do on an annual basis.
Those are our annual fundraisers. Some of the dens may do a small fundraiser for themselves to offset some of the costs for summer camp.
Okay.
But that is all on their own. That's not a pact.
That's den specific,
den
basically.
Specific.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, so this learn by doing approach is really a part of the Cub Scouts.
Right.
Can you tell us the reason behind that approach?
Sure. This approach allows for the Scouts to gain confidence and to realize that they are independent and the ability to help others. So if we teach you and then we work with you on it and you're hands-on doing it, then you have the ability to do it yourself, and then now you also have the ability to help somebody else.
Right.
You know, and that is a main focus of what it is that we try to present to the kids. One of the things that we did with my son is they built birdhouses and then they built toolboxes. And it was very interesting to watch because when they built the birdhouses, we had to sit there with them and, we're grabbing the hammers out of their hands and holding the nails in place. And, it becomes a little frustrating for the parents when you're doing this. But then by the end of the birdhouses being done and when they started the project of working on the toolboxes, they didn't want any of us around.
Right.
They had it all handled. And that's the prime example of the hands-on approach where you're helping them, you're showing them, you're teaching them, but then they grasp it and then do it themselves.
That's great. It's basically a lead your horse to water approach.
Absolutely.
We'll show you how to do it, and then you take it from there, and the kids feel, or the Scouts feel that they learned something and they put it to use.
Yes.
That's great. So if we have any interested kids watching that would like to become members, how do they become a member? Right.
So all of our information is on our website, which is ehtpack94.com. I would encourage anybody to look on that website for any of the information that they want. There is contact information and phone numbers if a parent wants to speak to myself or to Dawn, who is our Cub Master. We'd be happy to talk to them. As some of you may have seen, we were at National Night Out. So that's an area where we're constantly approachable for people to come up to us to discuss the programs that we have to offer. Our recruitment flyers go out into the schools. They should all be going out shortly. If they haven't received them already within the first couple of weeks, they should receive them by the end of September. Those recruitment flyers let them know what dates our main meetings are and our recruitment meeting. And that usually is held at the Egg Harbor Township Community Center. We like to keep it in a central location for everybody to be able to come.
If our viewers have a topic of discussion or a person you would like the mayor to interview on the Mayor's Forum, please contact the Township at 609-926-4044. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.